Hey guys, Elite Legionarii here, and today I'm bringing you a 2 versus 2 for Medieval 2 Total War on the grassy flatlands, or the grassy plains as this game calls it. I will be in command of Russia and team up with Carlos Martel 8847, and I shall be facing off against my fellow player Lavernicus, which is going to make this extremely challenging, and an old friend from school, MTB79, or Doc Holiday as he likes to call himself. I won't be revealing any real names, guys, I just don't do that, but he's an old friend from school, and we used to talk about Med 2 way back in school, so me and him go back quite a ways. So anyway, my army consists of 5 units of dismounted boyar sons as my infantry, 3 units of peasants as my meat shields from what I suspect will be Lavernicus' muskets, and I was right. I have 2 units of spearmen, which are looking very cool, I must admit. The Russian version is a very cool looking.
We need to act.
I have 4 units of dismounted Devor. These guys are awesome. They're as good as infantry, but they're archers as well, but they don't perform very well in this fight, and I've learnt why. I have 4 units of Tsar's Guard. These guys are some of the better cavalry in the game. A lot of very good cavalry units in this game, but this one's one of the really up there ones. And 2 units of Kazakhs, which are the most standard horse archers available to the Russians.
Our men are under attack. We need to act.
So my ally, Carlos, is playing as the Turks. Obviously, he's got some peasants as a meat shield. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4. And he's got 4 units of Janissary musketmen, some of the best muskets in the game. Very good. If not the best, but either that or the Cossacks that I could have got are as good as well, I think. He's got looks like he's got 3 units of Janissary heavy infantry, the halberd users. These guys are very good. I've heard forums saying they're the best infantry. They're not the best, but they're still very, very good. Dismounted Sipahi lancers and another head dismounted Janissary. He's also got, let's see, 2 units of Sipahi missile cavalry. These guys are very good. And he's also got these Kapakulu, so 3 of those heavy cavalry. These guys are good as well. Very good unit. Lav's army consists of 1, 2, 3, 4 units of musketeers, which he is very adept at using. But I'm starting to get the idea of how to go about using them now. He's got 1 unit of swordsman militia, 4 units of conquistadors. He usually goes to a little heavier infantry wing than this, I think, or is it more of a heavy cavalry wing? I can't remember. No, it's more of a heavy infantry. He's also got 1, 2, 4 chivalric knights, a general's bodyguard, and 1 conquistador. So that's Lav's army and MT's army, or Doc's army.
We need to act.
Has 4 units of musketeers, which has been quite effective, if I must say. He's got 5 units of Venetian heavy infantry. These guys, in conjunction with conquistadors, are easily the best. They're about equal for best. I'd give the conquistadors perhaps just a tiny edge, but if the Venetian heavy infantry get a better charge, I'll get the conquistadors though. So they're about equal, really. But those 2 are definitely the best infantry units in the game, so we're going to have some trouble on our hands with those. He's also got some dismounted broken lancers, Venetian spear militia, Italian spear militia, Knights Hospitaller, General's bodyguard, and 3 Knights Hospitaller. And what he does is he ends up charging in over here, and he basically just snags up the best part of Carlos's army, which causes some serious problems later on. But I make a big mistake in this fight, and I actually I realise now that musketeers have a great deal of resilience to arrows for some reason. The arrows are much better on like uneven terrains. On the grassy flatlands, in missile duels, musketeers are the king. So I learnt that. I wasn't sure, because every time I've used musketeers on anything that's uneven terrain, they just do terrible. They never, and they only do good if you protract the missile duel, and then they become much harder to use, whereas arrows can still fire over the backs of your own men. But in this fight I had a lot of trouble trying to dismantle these conquistadors, even with 2 units of Kazakhs supporting from the side. I'm using peasants to absorb much of their damage, and 1 unit's been completely routed, but he's just cutting through my Devore, which are some of the best archers in the game, pretty effortlessly. But I am inflicting quite a bit of damage, but not nearly enough. And this is basically, my mistake was allowing this to go on. What I should have done was charged him much sooner. If you can charge his charge musketeers early in the game, you can really displace that person's army quickly and overwhelm it.
Men are under attack. You must act now.
But I made the shocking mistake of carrying on way too long. I won't be making that mistake again. So because I carry on so long, I make it really hard for my infantry later on, and you'll see what I mean. So don't do what I did with that. So that's something I've learned just recently playing this, and I will not make that mistake again in future. So Lad's got better infantry, probably equal cavalry though. I do pretty good with the cavalry, but his infantry just absolutely cleaned me up. So over here, my Doc's got his forces in nicely, and he's although he's seemingly outflanked here, it's pretty even stuff. But he has got infantry and supporting. These guys here, they dismounted broken arms. I reckon they look really cool. But I love Venetian heavy infantry. They look like they carry like a similar shield to the old Roman style, so it's quite cool. But yeah, this missile duel, I should not have let it continue. What I should have done was rushed my archers here, just let them take the damage, and even then it's probably too late. Even though I've got my horse archers firing, but there's just they must have some very good armour or something, because it doesn't look like they're well armoured at all, but they can take a heck of a lot of a beating from arrows. And even with all their armour, these Vor just can't take gunfire. But then again, gunfire just bypasses pretty much every form of armour there is, so it's not really much of a deal. But on the grassy flatlands, musketeers absolutely rip up the field because there's a perfect line of fire. There's no broken terrain. It's just perfect, and it basically. But every time I've ever used them on uneven terrain maps, they just never perform anywhere as good as archers because they don't have even terrain and they hit the ground and they just don't hit their mark. Whereas out here on the grassy flatlands, like I said, absolutely flat terrain, perfect for musketeers, and they're just devastating. As you can see, Lavernicus is having a good result. He's always said to me he thinks they're better. I've always not necessarily agreed with him, but I can understand why he'd think that because just playing a lot of on the flatlands with them, the flat terrain maps, you'll have a lot of success.
Men are under attack. We need to act.
But I've on those uneven terrains, I've absolutely cleaned out any gun units with archers before. But in this case, like I said, it's this flat terrain working to his strength, and he's done. Now Doc's able to come out on the left flank and shoot me up, so they've worked together well.
Force remains.
This was Doc's first ever online Total War game ever, I think. But I told him to team up with Lav, and that worked out really well because Lav's an experienced player, so he knows how to support. So over here, Doc's also got this battle, looks to be pretty in hand. Basically, well, it's sort of even on one side it's going Doc's way, on the other it's going Carlos's way, but basically I have to rush it now, but I'm going to get quite a lot of damage done to me. So I'm going to charge in here, but I'm going to bring my spears into support, so this is going to give me the edge. And what annoys me here is my men didn't run, and they were on skirmish, and this unit just routes. I was going to use these to hammer, and I would have been able to free up my infantry if that had worked, but that was not my fault. That really ripped me off. That ripped me off because I knew if I charged, I would have won, because these conquistadors are actually losing temporarily.
Merciful, we have lost half of our men.
If that had worked, I could have won the infantry battle and gone into support, and I might have been able to beat Lavernicus. I was pretty frustrated at the time when that happened. But that, I don't know, they were on skirmish mode. They should have run when that happened, but they did not. I might have been able to make a difference because my boyar sons, although not as good as conquistadors by any stretch, still have an armor-piercing axe, so they're good against armoured units. So as you can see, these conquistadors are actually having a bit of trouble with them. They will beat them in the end.
We must act now.
But they will still, so as you can see, they're much stronger and they rout here and here. But had I got my cav in, that might have made a big difference. Because even light cavalry can do a lot of damage if they get a good charge in this game. So I was pretty disappointed that didn't happen. But good teamwork from Doc and Lavernicus. Lavernicus no doubt told Doc to go around the flank. And he's shooting my horse in the back. And it causes a rout. So very good work there from them too. I don't mind losing though to those guys. Good guys to lose to.
For defeat seems almost certain.
So yeah, I mean it's a good loss. But I learned that basically as I've been saying in battles, I've said I've not had a lot of success with muskets.
He flees battle while his soldiers still fight. Infamy will be his always.
Yeah, as I've always said, I've had a bit of trouble with muskets, but it's because they're ineffective on, well, not ineffective as such, but they're not nearly as effective on uneven terrain. But if you can get them a nice even terrain and a prolonged missile duel, they can usually win it. But I was probably going to win this cav fight, to be honest. But now you can see Lav's going to come in with quite a lot of his own stuff. So if we look over here, it's mostly just my dead bodies, and I believe I admit defeat. And that is a nice sound and deserved victory for Lavernicus and Doc. He's MTB here, but he is Doc Holiday. Well done to him. First online game. It's a nice victory too, I must admit. I like what he did over here. He basically suckered in the Turkish forces. I mean, the best part of the Turkish forces were all the way over here. And they didn't really get to support me, and that allowed him to use full gun support against me and help Lavernicus. So that was a very well worked plan there.
Our foe that sups from this foul cup.
So there's the percentage, 89% of us and 64 them. So it's a clear defeat. I had 1,731 men. I got 1,454 losses, 277 left. And I scored the lowest in kills at 631 here. So not too flash on my part. This doesn't happen often to me, which I can say with much pleasure that I don't get this many losses, or these bad losses. Normally I lose by this hair of my, skin of my teeth, or whatever the old saying is. But in this case, it's not so. Carlos had 1,373 men. He had 1,246 lost and 127 men remaining, and 991 kills. So he didn't do too bad, but Doc and Lavernicus quickly mopped us up. Basically, we played into their game too much, really. They won the missile duel, and that's what made it win for them. Once if you win the missile duel with muskets, you can just go around the flanks and destroy an army very quickly. I've done it many times before myself, and it's very, very effective. So as you can see, both of them had big high kills, 1,462 and 1,103, and still had a good half their army alive. So apart from my cav units, some of my Vor did okay, I guess. My Kazakhs didn't do too bad, but my Boyar sons, one or two of them were okay. Well, one of them was okay, but pretty much it was a failure, and the failure was my staying too long in that skirmish with Lavernicus. I should have rushed him with my peasants. Rushed. They would have taken a lot of damage, but they were peasants. That's the whole point. They were a meat shield. I should have rushed Lav. That would have forced his muskets back, and then I could have used my Vor then as their bowman. They could just fire over the top into his muskets, and he'd have to go around the flank, and I would actually eventually win that. I also had my Kazakhs. I could have gone around the back. So looking at it now, in hindsight, I could have done a lot better than I did, but that was a great game, and particularly a good and welcome game to Medieval 2 for Doc. So great game to those guys, and great game to Carlos. He was a good ally. We worked together. We just sort of didn't get the victory we wanted, so it didn't really matter though. It was a great game. So hope it was entertaining, guys. Hope my sort of little bit of commentary there on the guns and what I could have done better was you'd agree with me. But if you've got some other opinions, feel free to leave a comment. And thank you for watching, and well, I'll see you soon, guys.